Welcome to This Week in West Hempstead, sponsored this week by Stern and Spiegel LLP 5168-731-683. Let us solve your problems. And by Tiffany Dry Cleaners, environmentally safe pickup and delivery in West Hempstead and surrounding areas. 718-309-5222. Here are your hosts, David and Norm. Take it away, gentlemen.
Thank you, Dan. And hey, Norm, how's it going?
Another week.
Yeah, another week, and Echo Pool is still closed. The Capri Motel is still closed. It's got to be a good joke in there somewhere.
Why don't we just turn to what's actually still open, and it'll be faster.
Yeah, so 9/11 was this week, and Norm, you were there. What were your thoughts about it?
It's always a very respectful, somber moment. Everybody that's anybody who is a politician were there. We had the Boy Scouts, the fire departments were there. They rang the bell and mentioned the names of those from the community that were lost. It was beautiful. I mean, it's really something you should bring your family to each year.
Yeah, and it looked like, despite the weather, it was actually, well attended, and
it was
a lot of people from the community came out.
Yeah, the clouds were really threatening, and it did start to rain at the very end, but the churches represented themselves there and spoke beautifully, and so I think it was really a nice event.
Yeah, the whole Lakeview Fire Department.
They all come out in their dress uniforms. They bring out the flags, and they set up a nice canopy for people to speak under, and it was nice.
Yeah, a lot of car accidents still going on in the neighborhood. Actually, just yesterday I was telling you I was going down Nassau Boulevard and I saw a car. Looked like a pretty significant two-car accident, and the car went into the fence right by Echo Pool, right by the middle school, and there was police on the scene, and it looked like everything was okay. We also reported on Echo there was an accident, I think it was a car fire by exit 17 on the Southern State. Just a lot of stuff continues to go on in the community.
Yeah.
And, almost the opposite of this was we had a meeting and we were invited by the Malvern Chamber of Commerce to meet them at Crossroads Farm. And, one of the things that I want to mention is, they share some of the same roads that we share, including Hempstead Avenue and including, Ocean Avenue, which runs through Malvern. And when you get to those communities, every single person in West Hempstead knows you don't go more than 30 miles an hour. You keep your hands at 10 and 2 on the steering wheel because that area is policed. And,
it's heavily enforced.
Expect what you inspect, because people know that there are police. As soon as you go down Woodfield and you cross over into Malvern, you're going to slow down.
Right. The enforcement is there, so that's why they're successful in slowing traffic.
And they have their own department, right? There is a Malvern Police Department as distinct from the Nassau County, right?
Well, that's the key difference. I mean, Malvern is an incorporated village, so they do have their own police department. They don't rely on Nassau County to enforce it, and that is the huge difference.
And no offense meant to the Nassau County, but they've obviously got quite a bit more to do than be able to sort of sit on Woodfield Road where it would be helpful to have enforcement.
I know, but the truth is that our neighboring community is able to do it, and we can. We still have a crap show every single day, and nothing changes.
I think I saw that the footings for those traffic lights did go in. They had shut down Woodfield, a week or two ago.
No, it's going to happen. I mean, they're serious about it. So that light is a done deal. We need to move on from there and get the rest of the traffic.
You know what? It's a bunch of crap. Unless we get four-way stop signs in 4 or 5 or 6 different locations on Woodfield,
absolutely,
to slow the trajectory, we're just not going to get anywhere.
They cost nothing to do. You can put them up in an afternoon. There's no reason not to have them.
Okay, this is a good point, I think, before Dave's blood pressure goes too high for us to take a brief commercial word from one of our sponsors. Join us in just a minute.
Tiffany Dry Cleaner is ready to handle all your cleaning, laundering, and dry cleaning needs. We offer free pickup and delivery Sunday to Friday in all communities. Give us a shot.
I want to talk a little bit about real estate. I was going through the West Hempstead Facebook sites, and there's a whole bunch of them, and I think this one was on the West Hempstead Malvern Franklin Square or something. I don't know what it was. But it was a house listing for a house in Dogwood that was 3,200 square feet. Looked like it was fairly new or new construction. And they wanted $1.3 million with an unfinished basement. I guess things are good. We saw in Newsday that the poverty rate in Nassau County and all of Long Island is going down, and despite the high mortgage rates, it looks like home values are going up.
Now the truth is, there's no real bargains in West Hempstead anymore. I mean, the real estate values have increased year after year. In the next couple of weeks, we're going to be having the real estate brokers from the town come in and talk to us about the market and what its growth is looking like. And I think that's going to continue.
Yeah, listen, I think we're all reasonably pleased, those of us who already own homes, to have the housing values be high. It's good for us to have good property values. However, I think for $1.3 million, you could finish the basement for somebody maybe.
Yeah, I think there's a few bucks left in there, and I think if you can pay $1.3 million, you're not worried about finishing your basement. You probably want to do it yourself.
There you go.
Absolutely, and I had this huge story, and I can't seem to find it right now, so I'm just going to pass by it. But we were talking about the West Hempstead backgammon tournament, which is hosted by Paul Gurwitz, and this year the winner was Freddie Moskowitz. I think I got that right. I
believe it's Freddie
Moskowitz.
Yes.
And Paul was the runner-up. So Paul didn't make it, and there's some other folks that we know who claim to be great backgammon people who just didn't seem to cut the mustard.
So backgammon's a great game. It's a 5,000-year-old game from Mesopotamia. The original game was played with dice made from human bones. I don't think they do that anymore. I hope Paul doesn't do that anymore. It's a big price to pay for losing.
I don't know, but look out for the tournament next year.
Consider this our sports update for the week.
Absolutely. Actually, consider this a sports update for the year. This weekend we have, for the Jewish community in West Hempstead, we have upcoming Rosh Hashanah.
Yep.
We'd like to do a shout out to I&D Glot Market, who has really everything that you could possibly want for the holidays. Right across the street, you have Restorers, which has all the Rosh Hashanah baked goodies that you would like, including, I believe, Tegelach. Look it up, guys, if you don't know what that means.
And keep an eye out for our friends at Tiffany. When you inevitably spill some of your holiday food on your clothing, they'll be happy to get it clean for you.
Exactly. When you get that teglach on your white outfit, go to Tiffany Cleaners, and Jeffrey Wenger will be more than happy to pick up and deliver your clean outfit.
Well, next week there's a job fair at Freeport Recreation Center on Merrick Road. If you're interested in a job, it's Thursday, September 21st. And then if you're interested in grants for your organization or your business, the Chamber of Commerce in West Hempstead is holding 26th of September at 7 to 8:30. They're going to be holding some kind of a group get together and let you know how to file those grants.
Yeah, really, really important stuff. So that's going to do it this week. Thank you, Norm. Thank you, Dan. And join us next week for everything that you would possibly want to know about West Hempstead. Thank you very much.
Happy and healthy, good year.
Have a great, happy and healthy new year.
Likewise for me, a happy and healthy new year to all of our residents and watchers. If you would like to sponsor our program, like Stern & Spiegel and Tiffany Dry Cleaners, please reach out to us at sales@westhempsteadecho.com.